we can rise nor fall, or fall no further than our self-image. Let me say it again. We can rise or fall no further than our self-image. High self-esteem people are oriented toward challenge and opportunity. Low self-esteem people are oriented toward safety and security. Here's another tool you can use with your child. You can encourage him or her to think about activities that present challenges and opportunities as they get older. Think about it. Okay. Communication and listening skills, the next chapter. Communication and listening skills. There's a tremendous need for everyone to learn more about how to communicate and listen effectively. Many children don't communicate what they are truly feeling unless they feel comfortable in doing so. If the environment is not supporting their spirit, if folks are berating them, abusing them, ignoring them, or just not being loving enough, they are not going to feel like opening up. That makes them more vulnerable to more negative energies. Other children are not as sensitive, and they voice their feelings whether they are supported or not. And we know plenty of children like that, don't we? All right. The first concept we're going to address is I messages. I messages. I messages focuses on our feelings and concerns, whereas you messages focuses on criticizing and blaming. See, criticizing and blaming. So when someone says you, you're in a defense mode posture, okay? You're concentrating on defending, deflecting, and not listening what they're saying. You see? All right, open questions versus closed questions. Open questions require description and explanation, whereas closed questions produce one-syllable responses like no, yes, or fine. Like, how you doing? Fine. Closed question, okay? Empathy. Empathy is simply a demonstration of feelings with them, identifying with their feelings and matching their feelings. Sympathy. Sympathy is demonstrating feelings to versus with them as an empathy. And we'll talk more about that. Okay, a little different. Paraphrasing. Paraphrasing means retelling their story in your own words. Retelling their story, in your own words. Very important, all right? So when you ask your children to pick up something from the floor, you ask them, what did I say? They're going to retell it in their own words. All right, paraphrasing. Active listening. The term active listening means physically showing support. Physically showing support. Now, what does listening really mean? Listening means to pay close attention to give your ear and your whole self. That's true listening. Body language. Body language is referred to as non-verbal cues. Statistics say that 93% of effective communication is through non-verbal cues. Broken down, it's 55% body language and 38% through tone of voice, moaning and so forth, and only 7% through actual words. This is why it is important to understand what I call the 93-7 principle of communication. 93-7 principle of communication is about what you're presenting, okay, in total, not just what you're saying. That's only 7%. Very important. All right, the next thing is optimism. Optimism. What is optimism? It means the strong belief that the best is possible and probable in my life. Again, the strong belief that the best is possible and probable in my life. The benefits of being optimistic are improved relationships, an experience of more positive rewards and positive people. Others are affected by your positive energy. Improved health. Hey. Goals and objectives realized. Self-esteem raised. Self-image expanded. Overall good feelings increased. Isn't that wonderful? All right. Next chapter. is on gratitude. Gratitude. Okay, this chapter is so important to understanding why life continues to bring us joy and happiness, and also disappointments and sadness. Why nothing happens right for us, it seems, and why we experience layer upon layer of bliss and tranquility. Why more and more layers of doom have our name on it, and why our tomorrows are predictably harmonious and happy. A high self-esteem, high self-image, and an attitude of gratitude go hand in hand. The more you value yourself and see yourself achieving, the more you want to give thanks. Okay? Next chapter. Spirituality. Spirituality. Okay? Universal spirituality is another very important concept to be passed on to our youth. We're not talking religion here. Okay? Unfortunately, most of our youth of today and yesterday have not been exposed to the idea of spirituality that is presented here. True universal spirituality is simply connectedness to God. Connectedness to God. That's all. As we are reflections of God, we should look at what God does and somehow mimic that in our lives. And what are some of the things that God does that we can reflect? Well, He is appreciative, loving, kind, generous, most able, provides, protects, source of peace, and forgiving, among other things. As we are incorporating these attributes into our lives, we are increasing our spirituality, thus connecting us to God. And if you want to use other names like source, spirit, source energy, infinite intelligence, or any other name for God, it's okay. God knows who you're talking about. All right. The next chapter. Identifying and managing emotions. Identifying and managing emotions. Very, very important for you parents. All right? Children are looking at what you're doing. And they're going to model that as they get older. This chapter has enormous benefits as we are addressing critical ideas, critical issues of concerns with our youth. The need to identify, define, and manage the various emotions they are experiencing. Our youth are inundated with messages that sanction domestic violence, societal violence, wholesale disrespect toward everyone, women, seniors, self, and all authority figures, illicit drug use, criminal lifestyles, sexual promiscuity, non-recognition of healthy family values. Being products of their environment, children not only reflect what's around them, they accept those influences as normal to the point of actually being their environment. If someone gets hurt from their accepted lifestyle, they will blame the victim for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. They take no personal responsibility. In this chapter, we're going to explain the physical and emotional effects of different emotions and feelings, and how you can manage your emotions using and developing your EQ, like IQ, EQ, emotional intelligence. You will know yourself better, make better choices, apply consequential thinking, evaluate and re-choose, motivate yourselves, and choose optimism as your daily regiment. Our children will definitely benefit from this information. You see, children learn from what they see in you as the parent. You will also learn to give of yourselves, develop empathy for others, learn how to pause before anger sets in, and use the analytical part of your brain, which offsets the anger response, recognizing the signs of danger and protecting your peaceful state of mind. Remember, you are setting the example for your little ones. As you demonstrate excellent emotional management techniques, they will in turn internalize healthy choices for themselves. Before anger sets in, we always get a sign. Always get a sign. So what we have to do is learn how to set up mental detours